That's right, guys. For some people, spring is all about April flowers and rain and blue skies, warm weather. Well, for me today, that's not the case because I'm up here off of the Mirror Lake Highway, just about an hour from where you guys are, and I am snowmobiling. Yes, it's the middle of April and we're on snowmobiles, and so should you. Follow me.
Winter hits with full force in January, but by the end of March, most people are ready for warmer weather. In much of the West, their wish is granted, at least in the more populated areas at slightly lower elevations. And by April, winter is pretty much nothing more than a memory. Not so for David Stedman of famous Stedman's Recreation in Tooele. 80 degrees in the valley? No problem, because there's still plenty of snow up top for a day of snowmobiling.
Oh, this is the best time of the year to be up here. The sun's shining, everything's covered, you got an excellent base underneath. We're fortunate today to have about 1 foot plus of new snow on top of what was here and based up from before.
And that new powder fell just last night in the Soapstone Basin right off of Highway 150, better known as the Mirror Lake Highway.
We parked at the Soapstone turnoff. The gate was open, but they had plowed in about 5 miles as of a week ago, but it had actually snowed enough that we could park at Soapstone and ride on snow.
A lot of people, I guess, don't get up here a lot during the winter and realize the abundance of snow there is. We still have probably roughly 6 feet up here, and then there's nothing in the valleys, melted halfway up the mountains, you know, so.
Soapstone and the entire Mirror Lake complex is an easily accessed playground for sledders deep into the spring months. The road is groomed and becomes the perfect highway to fun and excitement, opening on meadows of white that seem to go on forever. Now, spring snowmobiling is a bit different than what you'll encounter in the freezing months of January and February. Conditions are unique, and so you need to know what to expect and how to plan in order to get the most out of your day in the snow.
You go a little later in the day, you don't want to go early because the snow's frozen and you don't get the cooling or the lubrication on your Hyfaxes. So when you leave the parking lot, you need to make sure you put your scratchers down, keep them Hyfaxes lubricated and get some snow coming up. You wait until a little bit later in the day, the sun starts to melt it from the top and you get a little slushy, so then that works real good for lubrication at that point. And then you sink in and it gets warm, it puts a little bit of a challenge to it.
And these riders aren't afraid of a little challenge, even when it leaves them in the snow, which honestly happen quite often. Lucky for them, over the past few years, snowmobile technology has advanced to the point that the new 800 Pros make even spring boondocking a breeze. Nothing is out of reach on this April day.
When the Pro come up, they dropped a lot of weight off of it. It does what you tell it to do. So many times I'm wide open right towards the tree, and on an older sled I'd hit the skids and be stuck under the tree, but you just grab a hold of the throttle and give it a big old yank and it just does a U-turn and you come flying right back out of that tree.
Eventually, spring will arrive up here as well, and frozen waterfalls will be replaced with raging cascades of water. It's the cycle we're all familiar with. Right now, though, winter is still blanketing much of the high country of the West. It sure would be a shame to let all this good powder go to waste. Well, if you're like the Stedmans, you're going to want to experience as much of it as you can with your family before white is replaced by green.
The powder is a good thing, I like that, but it's also good quality time with my dad, and the weather's beautiful, more so than a middle of the winter day when it's 17 up here, you know, you get a little break of the cold. Later
in the year, they'll plow the road. You can actually pull up right on the top of Mirror Lake Highway, pull off the side of the road, jump up on the snow and ride. I've rode in the end of June, 27th of June, I've been on top of Mirror Lake Highway with 8 feet of snow. You get up here, especially this time of the year, beautiful, very few people get very far off the road. As you can see, we've had a lot of fun. Can't wait to do it again.
So there you have it, guys. There is no need for you to put your sleds away yet. You still have at least a month to be able to come out here and enjoy the powder off of the Mirror Lake Highway. Well, that's exactly what I want to do right now. It's really easy to get up here. You come out of Camas on Highway 150. The road is closed at different points depending on the snow level. So sometimes you can go up higher, sometimes lower. Wherever the case is, you have plenty of time to come out here and enjoy. I'm Stephen Heumann. Now let's get back to Chad and Reed.